Welcome to our season preview. Here we have varsity head football coach Jason Tone in to talk about the Yellow Jackets as they head into this 2021 football season. So Coach Tone, we'll go ahead and begin with you. Since the end of last season, what's really been the focus of your team in your off-season training?
Our main focus has been on speed and power. When we played Dutch Fork for the state championship, in my opinion, they were just so much faster than we were. I really wanted to look to improve our speed, overall team speed. We've got fast kids. We got, 2 or 3 kids that are really fast, but wanted to improve the overall team speed and power. Coach Rochester runs our weight room and does a phenomenal job. I always thought, strength and power were synonymous, but it's different, we're a strong team, but we want to be more powerful. And that is, quick burst of explosion and being explosive. And so we've really focused on that since January and trying to become a more explosive football player and a faster football player.
All right, you mentioned Coach Rochester there. Can you talk a little bit about his involvement in your off-season program and just what kind of influence he has, not only over the football program, but just the entire athletic program and what an asset he is?
Well, he's definitely an asset to our program. Coach Rochester, he has the ideas and the freedom to work the program how he sees fit. We run ideas by each other, and we've done a lot of research together, about, what's best for our team. And he does that for all the teams, not just football, but first block, he's a very good motivator. He pushes the kids extremely hard, and he's one of those guys that, really, it doesn't matter. You got to get better. No matter how you feel when you walk in, doesn't matter if the weight is heavy. It doesn't matter. If you're tired or didn't have a good night's sleep. It doesn't matter. It's time to get better, and he really does push that in our core values.
Okay. How about let's just transition that into talking about your entire coaching staff and what have been your thoughts about how they approach this off season and then on into spring ball, summer, and then the fall camp. What have you seen out of your coaching staff?
They do a really good job of sacrificing. We demand a lot of time and effort from our coaches. They have to sacrifice a planning period in school, to work with our athletes first block. They have to sacrifice time away from their family. We do early morning workouts, starting in March. Then we, transition in the summertime and it's 4 days a week. We do wing T camps. We go away from our family for 3 days there. We do a defensive camp here where we're away from our families for an extended time, and then, a team camp. So the demand on time is a lot for our coaches, but they sacrifice, for the good of our program. And, fortunately this year I've only had to hire 2. So the core nucleus of our staff is back, which is a positive. Usually I'm replacing 4 or 5, and this year, we're down to 2. So it's been a really good off season for us as a staff.
Okay. Talking about some of your athletes now, since spring ball, summer, and here in the fall camp, you've gotten through 1 scrimmage so far. Who have been some of the new additions to the varsity staff, to the varsity football team who've kind of impressed you the most with their growth since maybe they were 9th grade football players or JV football players and now kind of moving into that varsity role?
Well, I think maybe the biggest growth in one off season is Brody Winter. His overall speed is improved tremendously. He makes plays on the defensive end, and he's a good receiver for us. Chase Burton's another one who's had a great off season. And both of them played last year, so it's not like they're sneaking up on anybody, but they had really good off seasons. As far as strength and speed is concerned. Jay Dillard, the quarterback, him and Kenny Fretwell both play quarterback and have had a tremendous off season as far as working and learning the plays and things of that nature. So we're excited about our sophomore class. I mean, there's probably too many to name, but we have a sophomore class that has been busting their butts and are looking to push for playing time now. They're not taking a back seat to anybody, and it's really been fun to watch.
Okay. You talked about some of your wide receivers and quarterbacks. Let's just keep on the offensive side of the ball. How about in the backfield, and then maybe with your offensive line, some of those offensive contributors that you're looking forward to? You return a lot, in the trenches.
Yeah, our offensive line has a lot of returners, with Chad Pendergrass, Miles Ramey, both play tight end, both physically dominant guys. Charles Couch will be a 3-year starter for us. Ty Moorhead is back offensively. So, we look for big, and Colin Sanders, who have played a huge role last year. So those guys up front, we're really going to lean on them and their expertise and their experience, early on in the season. Returning at running back, Cam Johnson and Carson Batchelor both played significant minutes last year on the offensive end. So it's good to have those guys back. In fact, Cam's probably our leading rusher returning, scored quite a bit. He's a defensive starter, but he scored 9 touchdowns in the playoffs. Cabral Morrison's back at the fullback position, and that's going to be a big boost for us because he's a big physical kid. Again, he scored 9 touchdowns in 4 games in the playoffs. And then Fletcher, we use him sparingly on the offensive end. Again, when we go to a bigger package on offense, he comes in and he does a good job of being physical at blocking and running.
Okay, you mentioned Fletcher Cothran, who is probably well known in your program more for the defensive side of the ball. Who are some of the key contributors on the defensive side of the ball that you're looking forward to seeing next week?
Well, we mentioned Fletcher and Cabral. Those 2 guys make plays a lot. Brody Madison will be a 3-year starter for us at Mike linebacker. Wes Stringer started for us last year. All 3 linebackers are back. Walt Smith is a playmaker for us at Pony. Played for the first time last year since middle school and really did a phenomenal job. Was an all-region player for us. Dakota Smith had a great offseason. Ran track. He's gotten more explosive and physical. So between him and Knox Witten, at the Pony position as well, they're doing a great job. And then NJ, played corner last year, started for us. We're looking for him to continue to improve. He's back as well. We've got 8 starters back on defense, but our D-line's loaded with returners. Jay Cheek, Eli Reed Leverett, Cabral Morrison, Tracy Cheatham played a lot. Zoe Brown played a lot. I mean, we've got 5 or 6 defensive linemen that played valuable minutes for us last year. So we're a very experienced team defensively, and we're going to have to lean on that early in the year until we can kind of get our rhythm offensively.
Okay. There's a lot of depth on both sides of the ball for you guys. As we mentioned earlier, you've gotten 1 scrimmage in. What were some of your thoughts from your first scrimmage against Pickens last week?
Well, we can always get better at little things. I think they strung together too many plays. We didn't get off the field like we should have. We had too many missed tackles defensively. However, we did have 3 turnovers. We made them turn it over 3 times, which is a goal of ours. And so I was pleased with that. Anytime we can get turnovers, your chances of winning are better. I thought our offense did well. We missed on a few execution things, but we scored every time we had the ball, so it's hard to fuss, at them. But we weren't as crisp as I would like us to be. We did throw. We only had 1 incomplete pass, so we did throw and catch the ball well, and threw 1 touchdown pass. I know we threw 1. Yep. I couldn't remember if we threw 2 or not. I was pleased with that offensively, and then special teams wise, we've got to clean up some stuff. In the summertime, it really does. Your special teams suffers a little bit, and our summer was really short, and that's an excuse. And so, I tell our kids we're going to play special teams here, and you turn on the film every Friday night. A team you can tell a well-coached team by their special teams, because everybody's going to focus on offense, everybody's going to focus on defense. Nobody wants to focus on special teams, and they just let those slide. Well, those are hidden yardage, and it's a third of the game, and we're not going to let it slide here. And I tell our kids that we've got a lot of improvement to do on the kickoff team. We did have a kickoff return for a touchdown. Brody Winter made a great play on that. We've got a lot of work to do on our punt team and punt block team, but I think we've got a chance to be pretty good in that area of the game as well.
Okay. Just a couple more questions left here in our season preview of Hanna football for the 2021 year. You return a lot of starters on a team that was an upper state championship team that, you didn't get the ultimate prize that you guys want, but it was still, by every other measure, a great season for Hanna football. Have you found anything difficulty in coaching a group of kids that are returning after such a successful season? What are kind of some of the things you've run into from a coaching standpoint, or has it been a really focused group that has been pretty easy to get them going because they know how close they are, to that ultimate prize?
I think we've learned a lot from 2 years ago. In 2018 we played for the state championship and lost, and then that next year we didn't play up to what I thought was our potential as a team. We wound up going 7-3, losing in the first round to Malden. And one of the senior leaders, and I was talking to him after we had lost to Lawrence for the region championship. I was talking to him the next week, just trying to gauge, feel. And he was like, we just thought we were going to get back. We just thought we were going to get back to the state championship. And it doesn't work that way. So I've really been hammering this group, and see, this group was sophomores when that happened, or freshmen when that happened. So I've been, let's learn from the past, and you're not just going to get back there just because you were there last year. This is a new season, and then something I've really been hammering home to them is, success is, you have to compare yourself to others to be successful. That's how you measure success. We don't want to compare ourselves to last year's team. We don't want to compare ourselves to anybody in the state. We want to have excellence, and excellence comes from within. So, that's how we're kind of looking at it and approaching it. As long as we can pursue excellence, then we don't have to compare ourselves to anybody. As long as we're doing the best job we can do, we don't have to compare ourselves to last year. We don't have to compare ourselves to 2018. We just got to be the best version of 2021 as we can be.
That's certainly a great message for your team and all. We'll get you out of here on this one. Just from a personal standpoint, being the head coach here at Hanna High School, what is your excitement level for the game? Next week you finally get done with all the 7-on-7s and the spring ball and the fall camps and the scrimmages. You're going to have a jamboree tomorrow night, but to be honest, those aren't really what gets you passionate and gets you excited. So next Friday night, the Yellow Jackets will host Lawrence High School in our first game of the season, an old Region 1 rival that we used to play every single year, not in the same region anymore, not even in the same classification anymore. But what are you excited about, next week as the head football coach at Hanna?
Well, every week I get excited just to watch them perform. It's kind of like, a proud parent, when you watch your son or daughter do something, you get that smile on your face and just happy for them. It's the same thing as coaching. You work hard all summer, you work hard all off season, you work hard all the time, and then you actually get to go out and perform, and it's just exciting to watch them perform. When you can teach them to do something and then they execute it and see them be successful, that's that's the best part about Friday night. Winning isn't it's not what motivates me, because when you win, it's more like a relief to me as far as we won, but watching them, execute and have a good time and playing for each other, that's what I enjoy the most. So I'm excited for next week. It'll be somewhat normal, hopefully, where there's not just 200 people in the stands and nobody can cheer, and you gotta stand, 2 football fields apart from each other just to get stuff done. Hopefully it's, there's a decent crowd and they're cheering, and it's, back to somewhat of a normal. I know it's not going to be completely normal, but hopefully it's a little bit better than last year.
Yes, sir. I think you'll certainly see that. I personally, this will be my first Hanna football game, and I've heard a lot about the amazing student section and about the big crowds with a lot of alumni coming back to support the football program. So we hope to see all you folks out there next week for the first game of the season, August 20th against Lawrence High School. We appreciate Jason Tone for giving us a little bit of a season preview on what we expect to be a very successful season of Hanna football.